Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at the second season of The X-Files, and this is episode 22, Emasculata, from 1995. Now, previously, we'd had the Calazari, and the next one will be Soft Light. This was transmitted on the Fox network on the 28th of April, 1995. And on the 6th of February, 1996, in the UK, it was transmitted on BBC Two. This is a monster of the week story, no doubt about it. Though we do see the appearance of the smoking man, which is usually associated with conspiracy, but there we are. That's how we are classing it as a monster of the week. The music is, as usual, by Mark Snow. I don't really give enough credit to the music. I just, every week it's there, I mention it, but yeah, I think it's excellent. It just fits in brilliantly. Now, it's written by Chris Carter and Howard Gordon. You say both really committed in the amount of stories they have written for the X-Files. Now, it's directed by Rob Bowman, another one who's very much a big part of the X-Files. 33 episodes he directed. He was also the director of the X-Files Fight the Future 1998 feature film. And then when you look at him, he's an amazing amount of TV series and TV films that he was involved in. Quite amazing, really. Now, the locations on this story are, we've got in Seymour, the demonstration forest, which is in North Vancouver, the petrol station and the bus station were a redecorated car dealership, which is located in Delta, British Columbia. And it's amazing when I say that, how brilliantly they look, all these locations, as usual. That is very much the signature of the X-Files. The cast, we have got David Duchovny, who plays Fox Mulder, and we've got Gillian Anderson playing Dana Scully. Then we've got Mitch Pileggi playing Walter Skinner, and William B. Davis, who plays the Smoking Man. And then we have got Charles Martin Smith, who plays Dr. Osborne. And there's quite an interesting selection of films here. He was in Pat Garrity and Billy the Kid, 1973. He was in American Graffiti, yes, 1973. The Buddy Holly Story, 1978. Starman, 1984. A film that just is not talked about at all. I really don't understand that, especially as it's a John Carpenter film. But Starman, I never hear that mentioned. Trick or Treat, 1986, which he also directed. He was a very talented man. Deep Impact, 1998, and Dolphin Tale, 2011, and Dolphin Tale 2, which was in 2014. He also directed those. Very talented, extremely. And then we've got Dean Morris, who plays Marshall Tapia. Um, he was in Lethal Weapon 2, great film, 1989. He was in Total Recall, 1990. Wow, an Arnie film. You can't get any better than that, can you? Terminator 2. Wow, considered a brilliant classic. Again with Arnie, 1991. The Firm. Yeah, The Firm's a great one. 1990. Then Gattaca, 1995. Underrated sci-fi there. The Cell. Oh, wow, The Cell. Yeah, 1993. What can you say about Cell? Brilliant. The Book of Henry, 2000. Yeah. And then 2017, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That's 2019. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Wow, that is a great anthology story. Brilliant. So many good stories in there. What can I say? Anyhow, is all involved in that. So next we've got John Piper Ferguson, who plays Paul. He was in Prom Night 2, 1987. Bird on a Wire, 1990. Unforgiven, wow, 1992. Drive, 1997. Pearl Harbor, 2001. X-Men, The Last Stand, 2006. And Drive, another Drive, again in 2011, which I think is the one that's very well thought of. And The Remaining in 2014. But then you look again, and as usual in these cases, there's so many TV series and TV films. Wow, what can you say? So what is this about? It's an interesting theme, as they often pick on themes. They're called in to investigate a mysterious illness after several men in a prison die, and we've got 2 prisoners who are infected who've escaped. They're on the run. Yes, 2 of them. And it's important that we get them captured because, well, there could be a big problem with this infectious disease, which could easily start spreading and managing. And of course, we've got the dilemma, but for these people in charge, it's not a dilemma. We are not going to inform the public and start and create mass panic. So that is the situation, and we see the debate going on. Interesting, the title, Emasculata. It was based on the actual practice of pharmaceutical companies sending scientists all over the world looking for plants and animals who could be used for their medical purposes, and they could create drugs and that from all this. So that's another interesting look at this story as well. This story has kind of many threads in it, fitting into the X-Files, and also fitting into these questions about should the public be informed about certain things without creating mass panic. That is the real question here. Do you want to create mass panic? And of course, people don't. But you've got to control these things, and it's a wonderful thing which we have seen. The pandemic was an interesting look at what happens when you've got these serious diseases. What the government response should be, and that. This is in 1995, but I think it's absolutely fascinating. Now, for some reason, got mixed reviews, and I don't really understand that, because I think it fits perfectly into what the X-Files are doing in terms of their storytelling, and it's exciting, yes, and it's good to see a lot of sort of action scenes in terms of looking for the two escaped convicts and the implications there. And as usual, the medical side and the interaction. And also, there's kind of, you've got to say it, is the special effects that are used on these, like, exploding boils. That, I think, was fantastic. Maybe not everybody likes that because it's seen as quite gross, but you've got to admire the way they do this, and I think it adds to it. It's part of the X-Files, and showing that is great. I can't imagine not being a good X-Files story if it doesn't go into areas like that, and it does, and I loved it. I think the way they did it was fantastic. Yeah, it does look a bit gross, but hey, this is the X-Files, and we should be showing things like that because that's what it's about. It's about this. And they certainly didn't go too far. They could have gone perhaps further. But it is network television, and there's certain rules that they have to abide with. The good thing about the X-Files is it does try and push those boundaries to some extent. It is aware that there are sort of restrictions on them. It's not like in a cinema film where you could just put, obviously there's censorship and what have you, but they put certificates there. But this being network television, there are certain restrictions they really have to abide by, and how far they go. And sometimes the X-Files did get problems, but they were able to push those boundaries, which I think is great. So this is really good to see that, and I think the story works well. You would put this as a really good story, I think, and raising a lot of great questions, and as usual, the interaction between Mulder and Scully is fantastic. And Scully, being a medical doctor, is always good to see because she gets stuck into all these medical problems, and then, of course, even endangers herself as well from the infections. So, wonderful story. Absolutely wonderful. I loved it, and I rate this highly. I think it's an entertaining story, and the mixed reviews seem, I think, rather strange to me. I don't understand why people would not like this and be negative about it. Excellent story, and it's heading towards nearer the end of the season now. We've still got more to come, but it's getting there. But what a wonderful season this has been. And that's it. I've been going on far too long, as usual. Before I go, I always show you, yes, you know what you're going to get. The little box set amongst the big box sets. Yes, here it is, the wonderful second season amongst all these others. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. And that's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We'll let you know when I put out these videos. And have a look in the playlist, and you can see all the other things that I review. A lot of films and TV shows, as I say, as well, and some music thrown in as well. If you've got any comments as well, please put your comments down and give this a like. If you give it a like, it gets it out to YouTube. Other people might enjoy it or not. So please give it a like. And I say I'll always answer any comments that are made. And that's it. Yes. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.